Hi guys, it's Ray. I am starting a new project today. This is going to have a couple of parts to it, but this is the water slide that's going to go on this cup. It says, "Nope, not today, sucker." It's going to get a little bit of glitter and then some wood grain for the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and do the wood grain first. And I think I'm going to go ahead and continue with my olive view. I was going to do green wood grain. I'm kind of second guessing myself, but I really want to stick to the greens on this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll with that. I'm going to start with this moss color. And I don't want to come too far up. It's going to get covered with glitter anyway, so it really doesn't matter as long as I don't go above where this is going to go. So like this is going to be my max. And I actually think I did not grab the cup that I intended to do this technique on. So it's a different spray paint base. So it's kind of doing some interesting things, but that's okay. We're going to make it work. This is the second style of this cup I'm trying. They're probably going to air back to back. But if you saw the other one, why would this one go any differently? So, I'm just going to go around and round. I'm going to hit the bottom. Certain types of spray paint don't allow the wood grain to happen, and that is basically what you're seeing happen here. Like this is like a super flat paint. So it might start to work better as I go back over and layer it some more. Hopefully. Otherwise, it's going to get turned into more of a, you know, marbly type alcohol ink cup. So I'm going to come in with the other color and see what I think. That might be a little bit better as the colors start to mix. It's still drying fairly flat, but I think I'm okay with that. Do you guys have days where no matter what you do, none of it seems to want to work? Because today really is that day. But I will tell you, I am making beautiful cups in my head today. They're just not translating to reality as well as I would like. Although, I think this one's getting better. Kind of trying to run sideways just to get a little more texture. I'm going to go across the bottom again. Try not to let too much run down the sides. And I think I'm going to go back to the darker green for one more layer. And like I said, I was going to go with a green glitter, but I'm kind of second guessing green now. Not sure. What do you think? I may do the green, but I may sprinkle it on once the epoxy's on and not pinstripe it and cut this off even. I might just let the glitter flow down over the top. And I may see if I have a, I just put that in water. I may see if I have a chunky green that would be a better fit than the olive. Now that I'm looking at it, I think that would be kind of fun. So I am going to try and even up this top line a little bit. And I'm going to go back over that all again, don't worry. That's just so I can kind of get my line straight again. Because now it's more organic and earthy and not so much wood grained. So I think I'm just going to totally reroute my idea. It's my prerogative as the artist, correct? To totally change my mind. I've already changed the original plan like twice, so what's once more? I'm kind of digging how this is looking though. I like the way these are coming out. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here with my inks, I think. Because I think I'm pretty happy with that outcome, actually. I'm going to cap them up and scooch them out of the way a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and get my water slide applied so that that can dry before I go into the epoxy layer. So I'm going to pick my spot for it, probably here where it's a little bit lower with the ink, but there's still room for it. And then I'm going to go through and pick out a good chunky glitter, whether it's green or a pink, or I may even mix a little bit. Who knows? Or I may come back with like a gold or something else entirely. But I do know that the epoxy layer that it gets the first time around is actually going to have a cheat glitter in it or a diamond dust in it, one or the other, so that the entire thing is going to have some sparkle. That was always part of the plan, and I am sticking with that part of the plan. My water has gotten extremely cold, so it's going to take me just a second to get this to release. But I'm going to get where this is going a little bit damp. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled one way or the other. It wants to go this way, so we'll let it go that way. Warmer water works better, but I didn't feel like going out and changing it. I'm going to get that straightened out, I hope. And I just folded that, which I did not want to do. Okay, so that looks fairly straight now. I'm going to grab my squeegee and squeegee it out. And I'm going to let it dry thoroughly, and then I'll be back for the, I'm just going to damp it quick. I'm going to blot it quick. Just blot it. I'm not going to rub at it. Okay. So I will be back when this water slide is completely dry to do a thin glittery section around the middle and maybe a little bit trickling down. I'll be back. Okay, so moving on with this cup, we are going to get a layer of resin on. I am going to mix in my additive. I gotta get my turner turning here, sorry. I'm gonna put a touch of rose in here. So, not gonna use a ton, and I am gonna actually shake up my bottle a little bit. This is a pinkish gold, but it might have some other undertones to it. I haven't actually used it on a cup yet, so I don't really know. But the rose is definitely the predominant color. On a white piece of paper, I couldn't see anything but the pinks. Or, sorry, on a black piece of paper. Not on a white. But on a white base it might show differently. So I'm going to get this on first as my base coat. And I mixed up 20 mLs. Over the green I can definitely see a little bit of green. And some actual gold. It's not as full rainbow as like the Mistress. Cheat. But it definitely does have more colors. So I'm going to get that smoothed out pretty well. Make sure I have full coverage before I come in and do my next glitter. So we're going to let that spin. I'm going to take a layer of glove off. I'm going to hit it with the torch real quick. My torch is running low on butane. Okay, so I started to mix this up just to get some idea of what I wanted. And I'm going to make a little bit more because I don't really feel like that's going to be enough. So, what I've got is, I originally said I was going to use the olive view, and that was like all I was going to use, but it's a fine and that wasn't going to cut it. So I'm going to use, let's scoot this back a minute so I can bring this in. I'm going to use 1 spoonful of that. Wipe my spoon off a little bit. And that is from It's Pretty Personal. From LMNOP, I'm going to use Opal Dreams. And this is a chunky mix. I'm going to use 1 good scoop of that. And then also from LMNOP, I'm going to mix in 2 scoops of Dusty Rose, which is a even larger cut chunky mix. So 2 scoops of that. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. Okay. So that should give me enough that I don't run out midway. And I'm going to mix that up. Oh, that sound. I don't like it. Okay, so I think that I want to, like, this glove should be fairly clean, but I think I want to kind of hand place this to have better control. So I'm just going to start sprinkling it in that line between the decal and the green ink. And I know my arm is kind of in the way, and I should probably bring this back more in frame. And this should lay down fairly nicely. I forgot to put a separate piece of paper under here, so. So I think I have pretty full coverage over that transition at this point. I'm just going to watch it come around. And I think I am just going to come up very, very high with just the tiniest pinch and just start dusting the bottom. throw a tiny bit at the bottom, actual bottom. And I may even go high over the top as well, at least on the white part, just to tie the whole thing together. I'm going to come a little bit lower right over the top edge of that decal. Just to get a tiny, tiny bit better control. And I'm okay if I go a little bit over the decal here and there. I'm just trying to avoid the actual text for the most part. But just go until you're happy with it. I think I am pretty good like that. Push that one down so it doesn't stick up over my edge. So this is going to get probably just one good flood coat over the top, and then maybe one more thin coat. But all of this is laying down really, really nicely, so it's really a thin layer, and it's not going to take a lot to finish it off. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you down so you can see it. Just a little bit of sparkle. I'm actually pretty happy with how this came out. I love the way the green ended up looking. I like the glitter mix. So, there it is. I am pretty happy with it. Thanks for watching.